Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hear My Marriage podcast. I'm your host, Tara,
And I'm Pedro.
and we are back with another episode.
Yes, we are. Season 5, episode 6.
hmm
All right, all right. Oh, I was waiting for you to say something. You didn't say nothing. So thank you again for joining us on Our Marriage Podcast. We are broadcasting on YouTube and all social media platforms and also Vintage Radio London. So we want to thank the Vintage Radio London audience for joining us tonight on Saturday at 9 o'clock,
That's right.
9 p.m., 9 to 10.
hmm
So we want to thank you all for joining us. And today we was just we're gonna go right into it, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
right. So the title of the episode that we're gonna do is "Do you share everything um in your marriage?"
Yeah,
Well, my
which
husband
we
says share or don't share, but
not
yeah,
say marriage, share or don't share.
but
Just
yeah,
simple, yeah.
but do you
Because
share
my wife would
everything?
have the perfect title. So, we go with the title what it is. It's either way. I think it still gives the right idea. So there we go. Do we
Okay.
share everything in marriage?
hmm
Yeah. So we're just talking about marriages in the sense of, as we always talk about, when you get married, that you become one.
hmm
And so we're going to start with Genesis 2. And it says Genesis 2 verses 24. And it says, actually, no, we need to pray first.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Heavenly Father, as we go through this podcast, we ask, Lord, that you will direct us and put the words into our mouths that need to be said, that it can benefit us and benefit those that are listening to us. We thank you, Lord, for your love and your grace. Amen.
Amen.
So Genesis 2 verse 24 says, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh.
hmm
Before that, in 23, it says, Adam said, this is now the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh. She should be called woman because she was taken out of man.
hmm
So we're talking about sharing things in our marriage, sharing things that happen in our marriage with outside family members, friends,
Whoever outside
whoever,
influences, yeah.
therapists, yeah, sharing things of that nature.
hmm
And so we thought we would get on and just talk about that, because I know for us personally in our marriage, um, that actually probably saved our marriages, that we did share, because we didn't just go and not say anything to nobody. Because if we didn't say anything to nobody, we would not be married today. Would you agree?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because it's a difference in sharing good things and also sharing problems, conflict, and things that happen sometimes in marriage. And you feel, in some cases, if things are going bad, you feel stuck. Who should I talk to? And even though we know we have God there all the time to hear us and for us to talk to Him, we sometimes need to be able to talk to people that can give us good advice, or someone that can steer us in the right way and help us to see where our wrong is, or just to be mutual, or however it may go, just to be able to have someone to bounce something off of, so you can see if and pray about it. Lord, lead the person that I need to talk to, so I can be able to see clearly, see something that you're not seeing. And sometimes that's possible. That can happen where other people that have been married before, that has been in it for a while, can give you some advice, or whoever, therapist. You could talk to someone that can be that common ground for you, that you can be able to then go back to your spouse and say, okay, I didn't see things this way before. Let's see, can we work this out? Because you're going to come in situations in your marriage where you're going to feel like, it's a bump in the road. Like, I don't know how I want to deal with this, or do I want to deal with this type
Mm-hmm.
of thing, and I have been there before.
Well, it even starts before even getting married, because I remember you told me that you had a relationship and it didn't turn out that great, and so you prayed to God and said, "Send me a man that would love me, take care of me, do the things that I need done for me."
Well, that's when I was dating,
Yeah, and then He sent
not
me.
marriage. Yeah.
No, I said before marriage.
Right. Yeah.
Listen,
Okay. Go ahead.
anyway, I said before marriage. I said it goes beyond before you even get married.
Mhm.
That you then, you pray for a man, you pray for a woman, and say, look, this is, God, this is what I need. Send that person to
Or
me.
this is what I would like.
This is what I
If
would
this what
like.
he
Right.
wants,
Well,
yeah.
no time you're gonna say what I need, but
Mhm.
God's gonna give you what you need.
Right.
Right. Just because
Mhm.
you think you need something don't mean you're gonna get what you need,
Right.
what you want.
Yeah.
So, right.
Yeah.
So you prayed and said, this is because when you got me, I was not perfect for everything that you needed, but I was what you prayed for.
Right. Well, you know what? I want to say that that is absolutely true, because this is the thing. When you go into marriage, you go into knowing that you are two imperfect people, right? And God has brought you together to become one, knowing how to be one together. That's what God will show us through the time that you're married. And I think that's what God has shown us through our marriage, that we are one. Because even when we first got married, I used to sometimes still have the mindset of being, by myself, or not knowing how to share a space, or knowing how to make a decision, making sure that decision also reflect the person that you're with, how that's going to help or hurt them, type of thing. So I think just knowing how to become one, knowing that situation's going to come, how y'all going to get through them, and that's the thing, being able to talk to someone that can be able to, just be a listening ears most times, to you. Because sometimes when you're going into marriage, especially if you haven't been married before, like I was, going into a marriage, I didn't know what really to expect, of the person, even though I have seen my parents been married before for as long as they was married for. Um, it was just 30 something years. It was just now we're going into marriage myself and experiencing how to be a wife. Um, and when you marry people that have children, how to be that parent when the kids around, just knowing how to do certain things. It's just something that it take a lot of growth, mentally, spiritually. It just take a lot to go into marriage. When you go into marriage, you cannot think it's just something you can just, oh, it's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's fun, but then it's when the hard times come, it's like, wait a minute, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. That's the hardest thing, I would say. But just knowing how to become one in a marriage is very important.
Hmm. And I,
Mhm.
I was thinking about this when I read that text. It was saying, that you would leave your mother and your father. So I would say this, like, as the husband,
Mhm.
you you had a really strong relationship with your mom and your sister.
Mhm.
And um I've always wanted you to have that strong relationship with your mom and your sister. But at the time you guys shared everything.
Mhm.
So as the husband, I had to leave my mother, my father, where I did not tell my mother, my father, like I had to not share things with them about you, or just, if and once we got married, when we was dating, it was a little different. When we got married, then it was like thing. It was like I would say, not divulge everything. If the
Especially for
husband,
every little thing. Like, I don't like her
right, said
attitude.
so, like
I
if
don't
I,
like the way
but
she
right,
is.
so
He
like
do this
as the
or he do
husband,
that.
if I, as the husband, then when I went in, because I'm trying to think of the right way to say this, because as the husband, I had to say to you, like, you can't divulge everything. So I think, like, it's the husband's duty, and hopefully the wife will listen. Be like, you can't divulge everything. You need to hold back some things, because it's within the marriage. Like I'm saying, like, it's the husband's responsibility to kind of set that boundary, because it doesn't say that a woman should leave her husband. It doesn't say that the husband. I mean, it doesn't say that the woman should leave her mother and her father. It says the man shall leave the
And
husband,
cleave to his wife.
the mother and the father, and cleave to his wife.
Right?
So if I'm cleaving to you, then does that? How do you know that you're supposed to leave the husband and the wife? I mean, the mother and the father.
How do I know?
Yeah,
Because now I have decided to be in a relationship,
yeah, but the
in a
Bible
marriage
doesn't.
with
Yeah,
you.
but I'm saying again, it doesn't say that you're supposed to leave. It just says the man is supposed to leave.
So
So I'm,
when you marry someone, you become one with them.
you're not getting what I'm saying. So I believe is my belief, my opinion, that is mostly the husband's responsibility
Mhm.
to incorporate that in the marriage, so that the wife can learn, because you are now becoming one.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. So because now we are one, now I can now pass that knowledge on to my wife and say, look, I left my mother and my father. It's time that you left your mother and your
Okay, I
father.
got you. I
You
got you.
understand
At
where I'm
first I
going?
wasn't. I'm
I
trying
know
to.
that's what, yeah, because you
Sorry,
always cutting me off.
I
But
didn't cut
anyway,
you off. I was trying to figure out what you were saying. Nobody
anyway,
was cutting you off.
anyway, like I said, so you was helping me actually. So that's what I mean by, it's my responsibility to try to teach, as I'm learning and as I'm doing
Not
it.
really
Is a
teach, but God in it.
okay guide, show, By example, yes.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm just
I'm particular with word choices. But go ahead.
anyway, like I said, ooh, boy, I tell you. Anyway, so like I said, yes, guide. Because if we did it, and it would have been no thing in your own, but I had to show you like, hey, some things it's just between us. And I think that helped us later on down in our marriage. Because if I didn't show you those things, if I didn't show you that, then the things that was going on in our lives that was happening, you may have went back to your mom and your sister and told them, and they would have, and they did eventually find out later, like years later. But at that moment, if you had told them when it happened with the emotion, and it's fair and it's fine. It doesn't mean bad people. It just means they would have had a perception about me that would have been good.
Yeah, and that's
Because
with
that if you would have
anything,
stayed, I know, but I'm saying, but you would have stayed with them, like, why you with him still when he did this and he did that and da 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 da. So that's what I'm saying. That's why you, as a husband, is the husband's place to guide and cleave and leave from his mother and his father and cleave to his wife, and you become one, meaning one. And even at the last part, it says, and they were both naked, the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. So,
I get what you're saying. So now let me say something. So with that becoming one and being not ashamed, like they said when they was naked, they're not ashamed. If you don't go and say something that's going to be shameful to your marriage, or to either the male or the female, you know what I'm saying, with the husband or the wife, then you don't have to walk around in your marriage with shame, like, oh, your husband did this. You see what I'm saying? They keep bringing up, or your wife did this. They keep bringing up the past when y'all have moved past that.
yes.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
You and your husband or the wife have forgiven each other. But the people that will not forgive the people are the family.
Yes.
Because for them, you did them wrong.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And neither are going to be as forgiving as the spouses would be towards each other, if that's what if both people want that.
Right.
You see
And
what I'm
also there'd be
saying?
no shame, and there'd be no shame in your marriage, because
Right.
you're gonna have problems in your marriage, but you work them out. So even if we're naked, I'm not ashamed, because you know what? We had this issue, but you know what? We worked it out. We just had this conversation earlier, actually about a little while ago.
Right.
And we was talking about divorce and getting remarried and everything. And as everybody know, I've been divorced twice. And I was saying to you that when I met you, I stopped everything that I had to do, and I was not ashamed of what I've done in the past. And when I met you, then we got married, and then we kept, even though things was happening in our marriage, I just treated you the same as my partner. I didn't change and become different because we was having an argument or we was having a fight, or I wasn't like, I'm going to divorce you because of XYZ, or because you're not doing this or you're not doing that, or because you left, because everything had a place. And I think that we as a couple, because I would say probably my first two marriages, I didn't do the things that I did with you. I learned what to do and what not to do. Does that make sense? Because you're looking kind of, say what you're going to say.
You're saying you learned to do what not to do once you got married to me.
Well, once I got married to you, I was in a different place. I had more knowledge on what to do and what not to do, and I had more knowledge on what I had more knowledge on, because probably in the past I probably would have told people about what happened in my marriage. I would have been like, oh, this is what happened. This is what happened. Look what she did to me. I would have blamed the other person. But with you, I never blamed you. I never went to nobody else and said, oh, I blame Tara for this, or she left because of that. Like when you left because we was going through the issues we was going through, I wasn't like, oh, it's your fault. I didn't go run into somebody and say, look what Tara did. You understand? I tried to keep it private, in the sense of I didn't tell anybody what we was going through. Whereas in the past, I was telling people what I was going through.
When we was together?
No, when I was married before.
Oh, okay. I got you.
That's what I say. I learned from that. That's what I'm talking about. I learned, because then the same thing happened where people did not like other people, even though they did not really know them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
they did. So I had people that did not like other,
Basically what you're saying,
and even
when you
myself
paint a perception of your spouse to your family, either
and
going to be a
friends
good
and
or
friends.
friends, it's either going to be either a good one or a bad one. So we
Hmm.
just being careful what you choose to speak on. um and I just
Well, no, that's the point. You don't speak on anything.
right.
You don't speak on
I
anything.
mean, you can speak of good things that's going on in your marriage.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
sorry,
It
that's
ain't
true.
got to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
that you got to be hush about everything. You can
yeah, that's
speak on
true.
some good things. But one thing you have to also recognize when you speaking to your family and friends that are close to you, you got to remember they don't want to see you hurt. They don't want to see you harm. They don't want to see you irritated or frustrated or going through some situation. And they're gonna have an opinion. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna want to voice that, and they're gonna make some of them may be biased because of it, and be like, girl or man, you really gonna, put up with that, or you really everybody gonna think differently when it comes to different situations. And so just being careful, because sometimes speaks to your they most likely gonna hear it, but you know what I mean, it's just gonna be that type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not everything is gonna be, you know, it's so I think sometimes it's hard for families to see the other end. It just depends who you're speaking to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like I
That's what
said,
I think.
we was going through hard times. They say, because we was looking at different clips, we was looking at different things,
Mm-hmm.
and they was all like, don't speak or don't talk to other people about your marriage. But then we thought about it, and like, well, if we didn't speak to your friend about our
Or
marriage,
so and so, yeah.
or we wouldn't be here right now,
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't speak to a therapist, you didn't speak to a pastor, you spoke to a friend
Mm-hmm.
that helped you through,
Mm-hmm.
to get you through to the point that you're at now.
Yeah, which can be
So
possible, yeah.
yeah, which is possible. So you can share. Is just finding that person that you know is going to help you, that's going to be biased, and that's going to tell you not what you need to hear,
No,
but what
mutual you mean.
not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear.
Mutual you mean, not bias.
Bias, I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Be right.
Mm.
Be no, it could be not be
No,
biased, meaning
you
not be
said bias.
biased. What I mean biased, but I mean don't tell you what you want to hear, but tell you what you need to hear. Isn't that still being biased?
I thought being biased is a person that's gonna only hear your point, and a
Okay.
mutual person gonna be able to hear you, but also be able to give you a scenario of maybe this or maybe that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're overthinking, like, or
Well,
even
that's what I said.
ask you.
But that's safe. Don't be biased. Well, I mean, either way, be mutual. I mean, I think we're saying the same thing. Just I think of it as a different way as you think of it as a different way, because
Mm-hmm.
that's why you're Tara and I'm Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
We think differently.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I got what you're saying. The same. Yeah. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
mutual. But yeah, because then that way you can confide in somebody. Because I think that sometimes you do have to have somebody that you can bounce things off of.
Yeah.
Bounce things off of, and get idea, not even get ideas, but just every every now and then talk.
Because think about it, you have a person that you're speaking to that gonna always hear your side, right?
Hmm.
Some people like
The yes
that,
man or the
yeah,
yes
or the
woman.
yes person that's gonna always hear it your way and not even be like, well, what the other person said. You know what I'm saying? That's about being mutual. They want to hear both sides of the thing to then make a decision on whether you was right or that person was wrong. But every side of the story is different for each
But
person.
that's the thing. See, the person doesn't hear both sides. They only hear your side. But
I
what the person can do is they can decipher what the other person may have been thinking
Yeah,
when they did that.
right.
You
Or they
understand?
can ask you, like, how was their response? Or what did they say? Which I just
Because
said.
written text, I know I'm just saying, but no, because I was the same. Because you're saying like hear both sides, but I guess I was hearing that they would have to hear both sides from the other side from
The
the
other
other person,
person.
right?
Mhm.
But it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah.
That's why I
Mhm.
said it like that, because in
Mhm.
my mind, as we said, we're different. In my mind, that's what I was hearing when you were saying that. So
Mhm.
I got you.
Mhm.
I got you. What? So, oh my goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, I
Ah,
think that's the hardest thing some people may deal with in their marriage is knowing who to speak to about situations that happen in your marriage. And marriage is not easy. Marriage is hard sometimes, where sometimes you're just not feeling happy where you are in your marriage. You're not happy, and it ain't that stays there forever. It's just at that moment you're not feeling the completeness that you thought you've had before, because now things has really changed in your marriage, and you trying to figure yourself out. You're changing, your spouse is changing. How do we get to the next point in our marriage that we can grow and be stronger together? You know what I mean? How can we do that? You know, and that's not always a easy decision sometimes, when you feeling like you don't know how to get to the next level. You know,
Hmm.
and it's very important to be able to talk to someone confidently about how you're feeling. And I would definitely express, if you can't find a friend or a family member or someone that's confident, someone that you can find that you can confide in, sorry. It's definitely, I would say, please go get I'll talk to a pastor or a a therapist, or I would say a therapist, because they don't really know you. They just right there listening, so they can kind of give you a different type of perspective on what you may be thinking or going through in your marriage. A pastor could probably be the same thing, depending. So I would say they would give them more of a spiritual
So yeah,
outcome
but can
than
you not go to a good friend that knows you, that knows both parties,
you
that
can.
can give a mutual, as you say, a mutual response?
You can, yeah, you can.
Because the pastor may not always be in tune with the members of the church,
Yeah, that may be the
and the
case.
therapist, depending what kind of therapist you get,
Hmm.
can sometimes just be all about books and the science of it.
Yeah, but
Does
they
that
can
make
still give you
sense?
a different perspective.
No, I'm not saying that they can, but I'm just saying, like, they just give, like,
Hmm.
like the scientific part of it, and not maybe, like, like life.
Hmm.
Because sometimes I think the answer is not always in the book. Sometimes the answer is in
In life experiences.
life experiences. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have a tendency to always go with just what the book says,
Mhm.
but sometimes the life experience, except for the Bible, which is the life and the experience.
Mhm.
But like other books, I'm talking about, like, we read other books, it's like what the book says, da 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 da.
Mhm.
But it doesn't take into effect, or doesn't take into account
Mhm.
the life experience that could happen. Because if the book was written 100 years ago, the book was kind of about then, about 100 years ago, but now it's 100 years later, it's changed.
Yeah.
The factors have changed.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
that's what I mean by having the life experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can have it's just about picking your friends, and picking who you hang out with and who you talk to.
Yeah, because you don't want to feel like you're totally alone with dealing with your situations. You know what I'm saying? I think that's when you just be wanting, that's when a person will probably want to flee from their relationship, because now they just don't want to have the burden of the problems on them. So
Mhm.
now I just want to go. I don't want to be there now, because I can't handle this. It's just too overwhelming. It's too stressful. I can't deal with this type of stress. Everybody deal with stress differently.
So here's a question. So, like, let's say you and I, we have issues about something,
Hmm.
and then, like, so all my friends are pretty much married. I don't really have. We was talking about this the other day.
Hmm.
There's only one person. There's only one friend we have that's single. That's a
Hmm.
woman that
Hmm.
I'm friends with
Hmm.
to this day,
Hmm.
and that's only because we're known that person for a very long time. Well, not
Yeah.
a long time, but we've known that person for, yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And you have left her in the house with me and went out, and then, like that, right? And we was
Mhm.
just talking, we was laughing about this, because just like, we don't have no, like, and you don't have no guy friends that you're just that you well, no, some you do have a couple of guy friends, but no, but they're married though, they're not single,
That's
right?
right. Mhm.
Right. So that will talk to you,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And I don't have no problem with that. Like, I don't sit there and be like, oh, why are you talking to such and such?
Mhm.
Because it doesn't bother me, because I know I'm confident in our marriage.
Yeah.
So the question I guess I have is, what if something comes up, like maybe they're talking about something, and you say, oh, that's what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Would you confide in them what you're going through?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because now you can relate.
Okay.
right? So speaking to someone that can relate to your situation or has experience, it can kind of give you an enlightening on, or maybe I should do it this way or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it can give you an idea on what you should do differently.
Here's another question. So as one, we are one.
Hmm.
So somebody confides in you about something. Would you hold it back from me?
No, it depends on what it is.
Okay.
Okay, so if it really does, it really does depend. If someone confided to me about something and I really didn't think that it's just necessary for you to know, then I won't share it with you because I just kind of they told me, they confided into me. If I felt like I wanted an opinion from you about the situation, then I would say, "This is the situation."
Yeah, but we are one. We're supposed to know everything.
No, not all the time. That's
Hey,
gonna be the case.
but we are one.
No, I'm just saying you asking me a question.
I
Not all the
know.
time it's a lot of things that may have been confided to me that I haven't shared with you because I didn't think I needed an opinion from you on it.
No, that's true.
Because I was just
I know
listening.
that for a fact.
And I
know
think
that.
most times when you're in relationships and marriages, so you just want someone to listen. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Being a listening ear for someone can be therapeutic, and they just listening to you. They're not judging you. They're not saying, "Oh, you should have did." They're not saying that you're wrong. They just listening to you. And then in turn, if you after you finish sharing what you wanted to share, you could say, if you want an opinion, what do you think? What would you do if you was in my situation? Then you could then share your opinion on it, and then they'll listen, and they can either do it, they can either take it or don't. It depends on if they want to do it that way. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody going to want to take your opinion and then use it for their own advice and then say, well, I'm gonna try this. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. So I don't think everything that's confided into a person have to be shared with the next person.
Okay.
That's just me. That's just how I feel. And I
So you're
really
holding
do.
secrets from me then?
It's no secrets.
It's a secret.
It's absolutely not, because a secret is something that you're trying to hide from your spouse
Mm-mm.
that you're doing. That's a secret. That means you're trying to hide something that you know you ain't doing is right.
So in other words, okay, I know you have a conversation with a person. Like for me personally, I don't ask you about your conversations, even though I know you had like you can have a conversation for a woman or male,
Mm-hmm.
and unless you tell me, I don't ask you what did you talk about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Depending on what it is, I would say, you
And
know
then
what,
if you
I was
decide that
talking about this.
it's thing to
What
tell
do
me,
you
then
what,
you tell me.
right? And then I'd be like, and only if I feel like I want a different another opinion, and because you know what I mean. Be like, I was talking to this person about this, but I was thinking this, but I just want to hear what your perspective is, just because you want to hear a different side of what someone else may do, because everybody handles situations differently.
Hmm. So then here's another. So I was thinking about this too. We were talking about, like not. We learned this for ourselves is not telling your family members and friends everything about you,
Mm-hmm.
but having a friend that you can confide, or a pastor or elder or
Someone,
somebody that you can confide in.
right?
Then I was thinking that we it actually goes even to your marriage of that you don't tell your spouse everything. Well, what you just said. So things that happen with your family members, you should not always run and go tell your spouse.
If something happened,
That's relevant. So like,
okay, I got your point. I got your point.
let's say for me, let's say in your not even for me, just in my opinion, let's say something's happened to you that doesn't bother you. Like it doesn't bother me, it's as our family dynamic, because every family has a dynamic about them.
Okay, so I'm trying to hold on. So you
Let
said,
me
okay,
let me
I'm just
finish.
trying to
I'm going to explain it to you once you
okay,
let me
go ahead.
finish.
Go ahead.
Every family has a dynamic.
Right.
There's like a pecking order. There's the way certain family members treat certain family members.
Okay.
So the family member treats you or me that
way. Uh-huh.
Right. I run to you and say, look at my family member, look at my friend did to me.
Right.
You don't like what that family member or friend did to me.
Okay.
Now you have a bias against the family member or the friend.
Okay. So now you're like, I can't believe they did that to you.
Yeah.
I don't like that they
I'm
did
telling
that.
you,
Okay.
you're more upset, or I'm more upset at them than you are at them. So
Right.
you understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So even in that aspect, it falls into that role
Right.
of that, like what you just said, where I could believe that, where you just said that there's certain things that I have not told you because I know if I told you, you would get upset.
Yeah.
And the same thing vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, because I don't want people to think that you should keep secrets from each other.
This ain't about keeping
I'm
secrets.
not. I'm just putting it out there because somebody is gonna. But there's always one person that thinks that. So
I
I'm
just
trying to give a
explained what
context.
keeping a secret
I know,
is.
but I'm just still giving context. To I'm just giving
Okay.
context to what you just said.
Okay.
That in my belief and what I believe. That's what I'm just giving context
Okay.
so that people, because sometimes people need context.
Okay.
So I'm just giving context to what you explained it very well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just giving. So I'm saying like, because then you can have a distorted view of something. Like I will only come to you if it's really bothering me, and like it's really bothering me, and I'm like, oh man, it's really bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I had to learn, because things that wasn't bothering me, I would just tell you, and then you would get so upset. I'm like, but I'm not even upset. If I'm not upset, why does it tell you? If I'm not upset, then why are you upset? Only be upset if I'm upset. Didn't I just say that to you?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what I mean. So it goes both ways when it comes to sharing about things in your marriage.
I agree with that. And you definitely have to be careful because you just never know what the devil what person is out there waiting for something to mess up in your marriage. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you speaking to someone that you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? What's lurking, and the minute they see things ain't working out, people take opportunities to do different things in marriages. In
Yeah, because
situations.
what you may not like, the other person may be willing to put up with.
Right. Say everybody is different.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is absolutely different, and we have to really be careful with that. And things happen sometimes that you like, really, like this really, we really going down this rabbit hole, you know, but we have to just really be careful who we sharing with, because not everyone have your marriage best interest at heart.
Oh no, not really. There's always somebody out there that wants what you have
Mm-hmm.
and wants to have what you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely got to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Or they think, or they see the outside. And, I don't know why people like that. Why do you think people like that?
Because so you got some single people out there that's probably been dating and just haven't found the right woman. They see how your marriage is working out, and oh, they look like they happy. They look like everything is going good for them. Oh, I want that. So
True.
you may have a man or a woman like, oh, I want her, or I want him. And then the minute thing, that's why I was saying things be lurking. You could be talking to that person and be like, this ain't working. He ain't doing this or she ain't doing that. And guess what? Those people that's wanting what you have can then now be like, I can give you what you're not getting.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Then you get caught up in a situation, and now stuff can happen. That's why you got to be mindful of that. You know what I'm
True.
saying? Um, and we just have to be careful in that sense and just be watchful. We can't be in our marriage thinking that it's that people or situations can't just arise, and you don't think people may want what you have. It's people out there be trying to cover what you got,
Oh yeah.
for sure.
But there's also working as one, and when you're working as one and working. So we were going to play a clip, but I don't know if it's going to work. So we'll just talk about it. But
Why don't you try it and see?
okay. Well, we could try to see.
Yeah. So yeah.
Let me try to see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If it work, it work. If it don't. We'll explain it.
So we play that clip.
Yeah, that
Okay.
particular one. Put it in your mic, Mike. Let's turn up your. Yeah. All right. I turned up your microphone too, so you'll be able to get.
I think we confuse marrying the one with becoming one. Jamal, hold on, wait. You got to bless the people of God. Let me brace myself for it, and I'll teach you. I can't find the right one. He ain't got this, he ain't got that. And they're expecting what takes 30, 40 years to happen in 3 days. God did not say, marry the one. He said, they shall become one flesh. That become is a lifetime journey of ups, downs, pains, trauma. We are not talking about something that is easy. Love is hard. You are marrying an imperfect person. As a husband and as a wife, your job is to help heal your spouse's wound, and you got to learn how to work with your spouse's weaknesses. When you marry your spouse, you are marrying their past, their present, and their future. I just had to ask the Lord, okay, God, help me as her husband. What I'm seeing is not a weakness. This is a wound. Father, help me be what she needs to be so this wound can heal. I think we...
Wow, that's it. That's it. When we go into a marriage, we're gonna come with baggage behind us, hurt, pain, a host of things sometimes people experience in their life. And I definitely truly believe I can relate to that. Helping your spouse heal through their wounds that they have. I think that's very important.
Yeah. And then because we become one flesh,
Mm-hmm.
and we stick together.
Yeah.
So that you don't need to bring outside forces into your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to go out there and tell people about, and I was sitting here thinking to myself, so what's the difference? Like, we talk about our marriage and we are transparent and we talk about, is that wrong, what we're doing?
What, talking about our marriage?
Yeah, because it says like he's not supposed to tell you what's going on in your marriage, but here we are doing that. Not that I guess I'm being devil's advocate.
We're not talking about our marriage to get an opinion from anyone.
That's true.
We are talking about our marriage in the sense of what we want to share with people.
True. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like we sharing every single detail of our lives.
We share pretty much every detail.
No, not everything.
No, that's true.
That's absolutely not true. We sharing things that we have experienced.
True.
It may feel like a detail to you that is every detail, but it's not. Because we talking about every day we live in life, and not every day we sharing every aspect of what happened within that day. You know what I'm saying? So that's not absolutely. We just sharing experiences that we have went through together. That, look, we went through that before. This is how we handle it. It may not be for you. It may be for you, but you can try it and see. That's not every detail. Because if that's the case, we'll be up on here every day. I mean, I'm just saying, because
even for 15 minutes,
right? I mean, I'm just saying we're not doing that. We just, we sharing things that we.
I just had that thought.
No, I'm saying we sharing things that we okay to talk about then and now and forever. This is not something that we're gonna rescind on. We saying this is the situation, and this is how we dealt with it. You either use it for good or use it for nothing. I mean, it depends on the people. You know what I'm saying? Some people gonna hear you, and some people gonna fall deaf ear and be like, they may not feel like we know what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? Some people like that.
That's true. Yeah. I just thought I'd throw it out there. They pop into my head.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, yeah. So no problem.
Yeah.
Don't get all thing.
I'm just saying, no, you got people that's in.
That's why you my little Southern firecracker.
You got people that's in relationships, you know what I'm saying, that hold on and hide everything. And then, you like, wait.
Then they're not together, and everybody's wondering why. Yeah.
And you thought that they was in a perfect marriage. And hello, no, they wasn't, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Because especially if you so quickly to move on from a marriage.
That's true, because in all honesty, the things we talk about, we're not immune to somebody coming up to us and giving us advice or telling us, a different point of view.
Yeah, and people are gonna have their point of view, and they're entitled to do that.
Because we don't say like our point of view is the and all y'all, and that's it. Like,
take what you want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Just know that that's what we spoke on, that's what we said, and we stamped it. So if you want to take it, hey. If you don't, then hope you find someone that can help you with your situation. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Take it or leave it. That's the type of people that we are. And that's just life, isn't it?
That is life.
Mm-hmm.
That is life. No worries.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely is life. That's the whole point of like learning in your marriage and learning how how to navigate through it, because like you said, marriage is work, marriage is hard. You become one, and then you just work through it each and every day.
And the worst thing when you're talking to people, whatever it is, what if you talk to somebody, well, my husband or my wife is not giving me sex, or they not giving me money, or they think they can control everything. You may have someone that says, girl, your husband ain't giving you sex, or your wife ain't giving you sex. Go get it from someone else. That's bad advice, for someone to tell you to go outside of your marriage, or whatever, because you're not getting it from your spouse. No, sit down, talk to your spouse and let them know what's up. Why you not, or if they're not giving you money, why you not giving me, why it's got, we need to know what's going on with our finances. What's yours is mine, what's mine is yours. That's the situation. You shouldn't have to beg your spouse for anything. Sex, money, love. You shouldn't have to beg your spouses. That should be an automatic thing.
I had a
That's just
thought
in
and I
my
lost a
opinion.
thought. Oh, sheesh. Because we
Mhm.
was talking about that. Oh, so we saw that one clip. I ain't gonna play, but we saw that one clip where the couple had said, "Do you agree with this?" I know you do, but where the couple had put their own vows, and part of their vows they had where they said to the friends and family to only speak positively into their marriage, like if they were gonna positivity into their marriage,
Mhm.
to not talk negative. If they're gonna be that way, then don't talk.
Right.
And I think
Well, I agree with that. If you're
no,
not
it's not. I
saying,
agree. Would you agree that more people should put that in their marriage vows, or like when they get up there? It was like before they did the dance, or they was getting married. So like, should that be something that they should put in, not in the marriage vows, but like a part of the marriage ceremony where they say that and had everybody say back, "I will never,
I mean, you can, but
never,
that's not going to stop some
never."
people from being negative.
I know that, but I'm just saying you still put it out there.
I mean, you could, but that's up to the individual.
Yeah.
If that's what they want in their marriage. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna either have people that's gonna speak life, or you're gonna have some people that don't. I mean, it just depends. Because people are gonna have their perception of who you with. Because they're gonna get to know your spouse on whatever level they get to know them on, or vice versa. And they be like, girl, I don't like him because I don't like how he is. I don't like his attitude. I don't like this. I don't like. People ain't gonna like everything about you.
True.
But it's what you like in your spouse that drawn you two together in the first place.
That's true.
That's what I think.
All right.
And it's gonna be some things that you don't like about your spouse. To be like, girl, I don't like that about him either. But you know what? That's him. You know what I'm saying? It's how you handle a situation. Or that's her. You know. Yeah, you know what level of things you will put up with in your marriage. You know what level it is. Everybody know what they
What I would
what
say,
what
never
they
say.
willing to put up with, and some people, I mean, I don't know. Never say never. But
Mhm.
you're gonna experience things in life where you don't think, like, you didn't think that you would go through it. And what do?
Never say
Don't,
never.
forgive. One thing I would say, when you're going through life or in marriages, or hurt, or things you didn't think you was experience, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself first. Love yourself first, so you could then give that love to your spouse. Because even if you don't love yourself or forgive yourself, you're gonna go through your whole marriage not forgiving anything your spouse do. Everything is
And
gonna
have
be a
be
grudge. Everything is gonna be
resentful
yeah.
towards
That's
them.
what I'm saying. So it's gonna, you have to, if you got to get that level of respect to yourself by forgiving yourself, by healing and asking God to look. I need to move on from this.
Because you know what happened?
Mm-hmm.
You end up then it will be flipping. So like, let's say the person was doing something to you that even abuse or a thing of that nature,
Mental or
or even
physical.
mental, physical, verbal, right? Because it's not always, everybody think it's always physical, but there's
Mm-hmm.
other abuse. And then you don't forgive that person, and then that person starts to change. Like, you have a talk with the person, and now the person changes,
Or
and
changing.
is changing, or it changes,
Mm-hmm.
and now in the process of changing, yeah.
Yep.
And now you're so resentful that you haven't forgiven yourself because you can't believe that you let that happen. Now you're fighting against yourself to be good to that person, because now it's flipped. Now you're being the aggressive towards that person.
Yeah, because it's all about forgiving yourself. It's important.
Yeah, you got to forgive yourself. If you can't forgive yourself, then that's the number one thing. I think is forgiving yourself is more important than forgiving the other person,
Mm-hmm.
forgiving the other party.
Yeah.
Forgiving the other party is easy. Forgiving it.
No, not forgiving someone that has hurt you is not always
Again,
easy for some
can I
people.
finish? Can I finish, please? Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Because you just said it yourself. Forgiving the other person is the easy part. It's forgiving yourself. Because if you don't forgive yourself, you will never forgive the other person.
Yeah.
Because if you don't forgive yourself, that means that there's still a part of you that has not truly forgiven the other person.
Right. Yeah, I allowed them to do this to me.
Right. So
When
now
I
you
when I
haven't,
had an
because you're still
opportunity to
thinking
get
that you have
out,
not,
yeah.
because that now you're saying, oh, I have not forgiven them completely.
Right.
I say I've forgiven you,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not showing that I've forgiven you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is the truth. When it was dealing with us, you in the beginning, you even said yourself that even though you forgave me, you were still you was mean to me for a while. You were curt with me. You were short with me. Because you really, even though you told me you forgave me, you haven't really forgiven me yet.
Well, they wasn't even about forgiving you. I didn't forgive myself.
Exactly. And that's what I just
this ain't
said.
about everything ain't about you.
I'm not making it about me.
No, I was just saying. Not everything is about the
I'm
person.
not even making it about me. I'm not making it about us. I'm just giving the example from us.
Right, gotcha.
From the conversation that we have had off air, off the podcast.
Right.
That you said to me, that you was like, you know what, babe, I realized that I never forgave myself right away for allowing you to do the things you did to me.
Right.
But so when you start to show that you was getting better, we had the conversation. You said, babe, so okay, babe, this is what I'm going to give you. And I started to change and be different and be better, the husband that you wanted me to be. But like with your locks, you say it goes to the baby phase where before it starts to really start looking nice again, starts to look flowing and healthy, right?
Right.
It goes to an ugly phase, right? That's that phase. Because you even though you did forgive me, but you didn't forgive yourself, you was in that middle of you was now being thing towards me, but not realizing that you was even doing it.
Right, because I think for me, it was like I had a period of weakness that I just let take over on myself. That I was like, really, in your life, you're like, this, I will never ever do this, and you feel strong about it. And the minute you experience, and the minute you're in a situation, it's like, wait, just a second, how could I let myself get to this period of weakness where I allow all of this to happen that I say I wasn't gonna never let happen?
Exactly.
You just never know.
And that was my point.
Mm-hmm.
That was my point, that you did. So that's what I'm saying. So until you forgive yourself, you really don't forgive the other person.
Yeah.
And that was my point. That's what I was saying. And that's why it's easier. You can forgive the person on paper. But sometimes that's that physical part of it. You can't.
Right.
You're still fighting on that. You're still fighting on that.
Right. So what would be your takeaway from this whole conversation?
Is what the guy said about marriage being one, is when you get married, you take on everything of your spouse. You take on their weaknesses, you take on their strengths, you take on their well-being. Is how you navigate when you marry. When you marry somebody, you take on all of that, but you help that person. Like you took on me, and I was broken. You took on all my defaults. You took on all my weaknesses that I had, and you made me stronger. You made me understand how to be a husband. You made me understand how to be a father. You made me understand how to be a better person, be a better man. I admit that. And I think that's what women should do for their man, because you're not always going to get the perfect man. I loved you unconditionally, because no matter what, I loved you. Anything that happened with us, between us, or around us, I still loved you. I still made sure that you was taken care of, but I was lacking in all the other stuff.
Right.
I was lacking in showing it to you the proper way. I was lacking in not putting my hands on you. I was lacking in the things of that nature. But you stuck with me, and you said, you know what? I see the man that loves me, and he just needs, a thing. So you stuck with me, and you then showed me how to be that man that I've become today, where now I not only do I love you unconditionally, but I love you infinity. You understand? So it's like, and that's what that would be my takeaway. And then to know that not everything needs to be shared with the outside world, and that we can talk about things. And even when we're not liking each other, doesn't mean I have to go run to my friend and be like, oh, I'm not liking her right now, because that's just bringing in the devil and bringing in problems that is unnecessary.
Yeah. And my takeaway from it would be careful what you share, with people, because sometimes you can't take it back. You know what I mean? Share something that you willing to say, yeah, that's what I said, and I stick to it. That's what I would say, especially when you're dealing with family member that would most likely be biased. Um, Maybe not all of them, but like I said, most likely. Just being very mindful, pray and say, Lord, I need to speak to someone. Send me that person my way. I would say that. I would definitely say that, because just being mindful who you share with can really put you in a place of you want to work things out with your spouse, or you don't, because you'll be amazed some things people will say that would lean you towards wanting to just be good done, or lean you towards one, okay, you know what, this is what it is, but you know what, we can work through this. It just depends on what it is, but just sharing stuff. Don't be scared to share. Talk to someone and let them know what's going on. And so you're not alone with what you're going through. Nobody want to be alone dealing with situations. And the worst thing to do is not say something or dealing with something, and then it's causing mental health to yourself where you're not able to function. So I would say definitely talk to someone.
Yeah, because I think I mentioned that to you, that if you're starting to think suicidal thoughts, or you're starting to think of ways that you may hurt yourself, then you need to talk, or that you're feeling like even harming the other person. Like which I still laugh at, where you said that time you was laying in bed thinking about ways to kill me.
Oh my gosh.
Why? We honestly, we talked about that. Didn't we say? You say you was like, I want to kill this person. I want to kill this man. And you said, did you not say
Oh
that?
my gosh, yes.
Right. You should never let yourself get to that point. That's all
No.
I'm saying. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
We should never let yourself get to that point.
Yeah.
I
Look,
laugh about it, but I was like,
marriage will
what?
change you, okay? That's all I'm
You was
saying.
sitting there thinking, like, can I take a pill and just smother him? He's sleeping. He ain't gonna know.
Oh my gosh, marriage will put you in a
Did you ever think about getting a
space,
knife or
honey.
something, or was it just
Oh
really
my
a
goodness.
pillow?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. At that time, I wasn't mentally in
You
the
was
right
mentally
place.
in the right place?
What I'm
Okay.
saying is that sometimes your marriage can really put you in a space, okay, where you didn't think you would ever be. And that's why, prayer is important. Talking to someone is important. It's important. So, just be mindful who you share with, but I would still say share with someone that's going to be able to help you get to the next point.
Mm-hmm.
So now we at our time of our show, guys, where we have our cards. All right, which ones we doing today?
I don't know. You have the
Right. Oh yeah, so it's here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't
let's
know.
see.
Pick one, Pedro. Pick one.
Since we're talking about do relationship, blue.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Or not intimacy. We do relationship, which is blue.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We do the blue.
Okay. Oh, let's see what card I'm gonna get. I'm gonna go right here. Oh, sorry, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got your card. Okay, so my card says I'm gonna go first. Which love song best describes our relationship?
Say it again.
Which love song best describes our relationship? Which love song?
It Never Rains in Southern California.
That describes our love? No, it don't. So now you're saying our marriage is dry?
Not said never.
That's what you said.
No, I'm trying. I gotta think. What in your opinion? What love song do you think? Because I need to think on that one.
I was thinking the love song. I forgot by his name, but it's "Go Just Me and You."
That's our song,
baby.
But that's our song.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's the song that it just saying that me and you, we together, we doing this.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's understand the question. It says, "What love song?" Oh, best. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Our relationship. I thought it meant like what love song best describes your problems.
No. Our relationship.
Our relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first song that popped up into my head too, because that's our song.
Okay.
That's our song. What love song best for just me and you said just me and you.
Don't worry about this, don't worry about that, don't worry about it.
No, it doesn't. He says, don't worry about Ricky, don't worry about Bobby, don't worry
that's right.
about
We make up our own words on it. So it's basically saying, so don't worry about Vicky, Ricky, Ticky. Don't worry about the people that's on the outside of your relationship.
That's a good twist right there.
Okay.
I like that.
So don't worry about the people that's on the outside. The only thing that matters is you and I. Okay, not outside people.
I can't think of a love song, but just that's the first one and the only one popped into my head. I think because me and you just think alike on that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
After 20 years of marriage, it's amazing, guys. Like we could be sitting there watching a program and we'll both be thinking the same thing. Like, why is that happening? Or why is that not happening? But we won't say nothing to each other. We can actually just look at each other and they will say together, like, and we're like, wow. So, for me, that's a song I got in my head. Just me and you two. Yeah.
Okay.
Just me and you, because it's always just been me and you.
In Jesus' name.
My question is, have you ever flipped me off when my back was turned? If so, when and why? If not, when have you wanted to?
Oh, when you have irritated me or something, and I'm like, oh, he just, and I really
the question is, have you ever done it?
I have said some things that...
No, flip me off, meaning like, I guess it's to give the bird.
Yeah, or curse you or something.
Mm-hmm. No, give the bird. Pretty much, flipped you off. Isn't that give the bird?
I would say, I guess I'm taking it as something else.
Flip you off is give the bird.
No, I never done that.
Yeah,
no.
Flip you off, like like when you're in the car and the person cuts you off, and hey, guys, I'm saying, I know some of us are Christians on the radio show, everything, but don't say you never flip nobody off. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't have words that I said in my mind, or I said or whatever, but yeah. Mm-hmm. That's about it. But it ain't nothing. I said it and then I moved on. Like, I was done.
Yes, I have flipped you off.
Yeah. You
Yes, I have flipped you off.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I have. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have. Honestly, I have. I'm not proud of it, but yes, I have.
I guess I'm really not surprised by your answer.
Well, but babe, with everything we've been through, of course that would have happened. If I would have said I never flipped you off, people would say, oh, you know what? I don't believe a word he just said, all the other stuff. So I have to be honest. I mean, why not? I mean, of everything that we've been through, if I went just now said I never flipped you off, everybody know I'm a complete liar.
That's true.
I couldn't say no. Yeah, I've done it. Yeah. Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it.
Yeah, I don't.
And when have I wanted to? Those times when I flipped you off.
Did I know about it? I don't know. Probably didn't.
It's been a couple of times you didn't know about it.
Okay.
Yeah, in the beginning, yeah, definitely. Like we was in our thing, and you went into another room. Oh, it was on. Be honest with you, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have to be honest, because if I would not be transparent by saying no. I would be lying to myself,
right,
and to you in front of God if I said no.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not proud of it, but it was a part of what happened.
Yeah, but growth.
Growth, exactly. Growth.
A lot of growing
and understanding, and and it's still, and to be fair, be honest with you, I'm human. There's times I still want to do
it. Likewise.
I'm just, babe, we are human. We are not perfect.
That's why I agree with you.
There's times when you irritate the heck out of me, and I'm just like,
oh my goodness, if only.
If only, like, I'm like, what's wrong with this woman? Like, why is she acting like this? Like,
I feel like that too.
I just now choose not to. I mean, technically, we only really stopped cursing 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 years ago, maybe.
I don't know. I ain't putting no number to anything.
Babe, there's a number to it though. Let's be honest about this. We only stopped really cursing or trying not to curse years, maybe about 10 years, maybe half our marriage.
Yeah, probably so.
Half our marriage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been married for almost 20, about 10 years, maybe a little under 10 years. I mean, why lie about that? We all
Nobody
act like
lying.
we're so perfect, like things, like people in life don't curse when they, behind the scenes or at home.
Excuse me, I ain't saying that.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the people out there that's listening.
Oh, all right.
Don't act like you guys don't. We all have sinned and come short of the glory of God.
Yes,
we all have done something that we're not proud of.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying, so yeah, we definitely,
But
so-
we
but we have grown,
we done
like
got
you said.
better.
Now I can use other words.
Yeah.
And it's not just saying it, folks, it's also thinking it.
Yeah.
So you have to get to that place where you don't think the curse word either, because
That's
thinking
growth.
it is just like saying it.
That's growth.
Right. And so we're trying to grow in that way. That's where we want to get in our lives, where we can actually do that.
That's right. All right. So yeah.
Why are you gonna end it on that? Oh goodness gracious. Look at you.
Oh my goodness.
Just throw me under the bus.
So yeah, if you're thinking about being,
Oh, you don't agree with, what? Whatever. Anyway, I know that off coming like you just did. But anyway,
yeah.
as we said, about sharing and not sharing and sharing everything in marriage, it just depends on the type of friends and relatives that you have.
Mhm.
But you don't want to share if it's going to hurt your marriage.
Yeah.
And you want to have somebody that's going to be very what's the word, supportive in your marriage, and speak positively on your marriage.
Positivity.
And speak positivity on your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you want in your marriage more than anything else.
Definitely.
We want to thank everybody for joining us today on Hear My Marriage. Thank you so much
for joining. We at the end of our show.
We are at the end of our show.
Yes.
If you have a question or you like something we say you didn't like, you can leave us a question at Insido at hashtag 3048226.
Or you can send a message to Adventures Radio London. I don't know the number.
I don't know. We got to find that out. Yeah.
But you can send a message there. Good or
so
bad.
Why you bring it up if you don't know it? Because they can. Adventures Radio London listeners would know because they listen to the other programs. They will know.
So yeah, they know.
Yeah.
So we'll add
or you can leave a message on the
YouTube
YouTube page, or you can leave a message on the Spotify. Can they do it on Spotify?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or again on Sido, which is hashtag 3048226.
Yep.
You can it's ways to get a hold of us.
Yeah.
Even in our thing, isn't our number on there? Because we have a number.
Yeah.
We have a Hear Marriage phone number.
Mm-hmm.
So you can leave a message there.
That's right, guys.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining us. My name is Pedro.
And my name is Tara.
And this is Hear My Marriage Podcast.
Blessings, guys.
Blessings. Have a good week.